Show you later scene. We quit around like 2 o'clock today, man. It was a lot of heat waves. I was hydrated, but we did okay. But this is what we did today. Now me and my mom have to trim the rest of it now. The guy actually helped us out, and they're using different chainsaw and stuff. So RG213 looks good on the Mako 5000, but what it did, this looks alright. I went on there today on the Quad 5. The only thing that happened today, it actually ripped out the coax, the one, the RG58. It pulled this one out, then it pulls that part right there. That's RG213. I wanted to have a 213 to run the whole thing right into my house. I need at least like 100 foot. If I had 100 foot of RG213, if you guys want to donate some, let me know. Let me know you can donate some RG213. And I got the rotor cable ready to go. The only thing to worry about, this tree is going to land on that shed, but I'll show you the tree looks like, guys. And we did it around 7 o'clock this morning. That's my little Victor guy. So we put the trees back here. But this is the shed's worried about being landed on, but we got a rope here. So we connect it. The RG13 is right here. She's okay, but I wrapped some plastic in it to keep the water out of it. It's got coax seal, but I'd love to have more coax seal. I have a little bit of it, but I've had a lot of coax seal, but it's got duct tape and coax seals inside this thing. So all I have to do is I need an RG213 to connect this and bring it back in the house and go back on the antenna tuner to look at it. It should stay about the same as the RG58, but this is the beam antenna I told you guys about. But I can actually see it from my window now. Let's hope this tree don't ever fall again. So you guys know it's a Bradford tree. Let me see. See, that's what it looks like. This is what happened yesterday. And the guys cut it off here. Got it off the roof. I'll show you guys what it looks like. You guys want to see the roof? Hold on a second. You guys can see the roof here. I'll show you in a minute. So it did bend that part right there. That was it. But everything's okay. That's the worst it did. But it did not destroy the window, except it poked out that screen where the silver tape is. That's the only thing that happened. But everything's good with the box. It only poked that screen out. That was it. And that's where it hit right there. And you can see that little bent part right there. That's where it landed right there, and that's it. But the roof is in great shape. I could walk on it no problem. It's like it had before. But we were lucky. We got lucky. But this is what I have to get this out. This was an antenna I made while back in Utah. My second one has an iron rod, 11-foot rod inside this thing. I broke that off with that pipe there. This is one of those homemade antennas I made. The one I learned off from Mower Junkies channel. That was the one I had back in Utah. This is a 102-inch dipole antenna I made, which I'll get it off here sometime tomorrow. If it's not raining, we'll have to cut this off here, and that's it. I got my ham antenna out of the tree today, which we saw the wire out. I'll show you the coax, what it did. Guys, the RG213s are very strong cables. There's no splices in the thing. All I do is pick all this can up, but we're doing all this stuff. If you guys want to donate some RG213, I need at least 100 foot. We'll be back on the air, but I don't have any coax for this right now. I don't have RG58, but RG58 will work fine with this. But all you just have to get it in there, untape this, and connect it to the unseal the coax seal and unseal the duct tape. It should be fine that way, but that's why you need some more RG13. This is only 50-foot cable here I got up here to my thing. Because everything, yeah, that's all. It's a 50-foot RG213. You remember I had to solder when I got this thing? It's called the Alpha. They actually have one on Fleabay. There's actually one for 89 bucks. And it has the connectors with $89 is what I've seen on Fleabay. That has 100 foot of this. And all I do is connect this to this thing here. We can run 100 foot right into the house and be on the beam, no problem. You guys know that. There's our beam antenna. You guys can see it. That's what it is. But I'm worried about this rope's going to hit the tree next time when it slams, but it's not going to do it. Here's our rotor cable. It's still in the plastic bag, so it's not going to hurt. So I've run the rotor out here so you guys see the pole. So that's, I know, let me write this up, guys, so you guys can see it. Is it okay? I can still operate it. So it's not going to fall down. I don't want to mess with this, but it's not going to fall down. The rotor can move around good. That's what it did, bent. What it did when that thing pulled this side here, this thing was pulling it this way down this pole here. That's what it did when that thing had a little tree side. Lucky it was not a full tree. It was like small branches like that pulled this very tight like that, like this way. You guys saw the first video. So I think it's gonna be okay, but the rotor looks pretty straight, but you guys can see it. It's still kind of bent crooked, but the beam looks straight, does it? But when you spin that thing, it should not do a different angle on it, but at least it looks pretty level to me. But I think it'll be okay for a while. But do you think I should take the pole down right now? But I don't think so, because you don't really bend the first time with the pole, but it's got a 5-foot rod inside the pole like I did. I showed you guys how I did it. So here's all the trees here we took out. There she is. I know it's not bright. There we go, we got some brightness there. And what do you think of the pole? You guys can see it, how the way I'm looking at the difference? That's what I'm looking at. Because you know how long it took me to do something like this? And you guys saw with the video about it, so that's what the worst I have. But the beam looks pretty straight. But I don't think I'm not going to mess with the pole. But these poles are like the ones at Lowe's you've seen in aisle 11. That's what they are. And I don't think it's not going to snap, because I don't think it's going to snap at all. These poles are very strong. You have to pull a lot of weight to do that. The BM10 weighs 13 pounds, but I don't think this is going to snap anytime soon. But it might. The worst thing, it might get a wind like this. But I'm not going to mess with this pole for a long time until we change out the coax like 10 years down the road. That's why I need some coax right now, like RG213, like 100 foot, so we could connect this thing. We'd be back on the air, and this thing should rock and roll. Because the beam antenna looks pretty straight, but the pole's kind of a little bent. But I don't think it's going to fall down any soon, because you have to pull on something really serious, like right here. That's what it pulled this side here, you guys see. But I think the pole's going to be alright. I think it's still operational, means I can still do it. As long as I don't shake the pole or nothing, be okay. But it bent down here like that. That's where the 5-foot rod inside those markers are at. And it's like 5 foot. That's what's holding the weight down here to keep the antenna straight. That's what it is. I don't think it's going to break on soon. I won't change it for another 10 years. Maybe by that time I'll get another backup pole real soon. Maybe it'll take a while to get one, but not right now. But we'll buy one, get one every several months to have a backup pole. Then when the time we want to change the coax down 10 years down the road, we could redo this thing again, and that's what we could do. I think that's be the best choice right now. But you could always buy a whole pole for, get one every couple months, and wait till that 10 years down the road. That's when you take this down and do the same thing you do when you drill it, or change out the coil, or keep it away, or we could rebend it back up. But I don't want to mess with this right now. At least the antenna can be operational. It's not going to fall down. I leave in that same position every time when I shut off my radio and stuff. This is 310 degrees, so it did not mess the rotor up, looks like to me, but it should be okay. It should be moving around. But that's what happened. But it's not, both sides look pretty straight. You guys can see it. I'll show you. So, but that's why this thing's concrete to the ground, and this one too. But I got to get out of these tree bushes. I can get ticks out of here, but I haven't gotten no ticks today out here. They only come out in 80-degree weather. This is what saved the system from pulling this way. That's the first pole I bent. You remember that one I lift up? You guys can see it up there. You guys can see it up there. You guys can see how it looks straight. So it looks pretty good to you. Does it look straight to you guys? So it's good. So yeah, now I'll show you the backside of it. So that's what it does, but this pole is very strong. I designed this. I did a lot of work. So my next door neighbor knows I do CV stuff. He's pretty cool, but he talks French, but he ain't gonna bother us, but it's pretty good. So I give him one of our QSL cards. One of my UDX QSL cards to check out Dennis' channel on YouTube, and 390 Magnum Master, and where you can get a Randy too later on, but I don't know. Maybe they'll do it in their either way. Maybe someone in France will be on one of these things on the C-Radio, who knows. So I give him a QSL card what our club is about. It's pretty cool. So who knows. So this antenna looks pretty good shape. But the guy helped us out either way, because you guys know that a lot. So he only speaks French. He doesn't speak English at all. He speaks a little English. So yeah, he only been in this area. He's actually from Florida. They moved to Florida about 3 years ago. I told you about the guy who fixed my lawnmower. My mom took the lawnmower out of this shed here in the back, so she parked it over by the Mako 5000, so everything's good. She's worried about this thing's gonna snap and gonna land right here in the woods. But the chickens are okay. So the guy, I'll tell you about what happened today. My mom wanted to pay him some money to him for all the tree work day. So he said he didn't want to take nobody's money and stuff like that. He said, I don't need your money and stuff. And I'll just offer some eggs, and he's going to take some eggs and stuff, and that's it. He didn't charge us at all. He did it all for free for doing all his trees. A lot of people usually charge money these days, but at least that's cool. Think about it. You know how much would it cost to do something like that? Think about that. But the only thing, I get a lot of sunshine there. I'd be able to see my beam in the window, guys. You know that? But now, that's that other RG coax that I made this a while back. Put a hole and ran this thing. I was going to try to cloak myself from HOAs with that thing. That's what I did that when I lived in Utah. When I made that, I was going to put that in a flower pot, go on my back porch in Pleasant View, and talk on this thing, which I fixed this antenna. This is a 102 inch, but maybe we'll get all this cut. Maybe we'll put one of these amps, put the thing back up later on. Who knows? These are the Bradford trees, and this is what broke off because of the rain. So you guys take a look. I think this tree be okay, but some people think the tree's about to go. I just hope it slams the other way, but I don't know. But I'm not gonna miss this tree. But it's under my chicken coop. But one of my ropes are tied to my thing. I don't think I'm gonna untie it right now. This is part of the thing that goes to the beam antenna, and one goes in the back of it. So the chickens are looking good, guys. So you guys can take a look at this tree here. That's what broke off the side. It was weight on the side. So we got a lot of logs, man. It's gonna take me days to do it, but if you guys want to donate some RG213s, let me know. Get the alpha kind, they're very good. I had to solder those wires back last year. It's only not even been a year since this beam's been up, because you guys have, all I did do is have to run the rotor wire through there and the RG13 in that little hole, and I got it right up to it, and it'll be connected to that you know, that antenna adapter says the serial that goes in the barrel connector, and it'll hook up all a bunch of RG58s. That's it. But I wish I could get some RG213. I wanted to upgrade this to RG213 months ago when I told you guys a while back. This is probably the time you could do that. I'll just have to get some coaxial in there, unravel that. The coaxial could be reused, but I used that in a Ziploc bag for a while until I get the RG213. It's like $89 for 100 foot of it. 100 foot will cover me right inside the house, no problems. And later on, I could always take this cable down and bury this in the ground if I want to. If I want to do it later on, but the rotor cable did okay, didn't snap. I have some rotor cable still left over, but everything survived, so it didn't broke this rotor cable at all. So let's leave the beam like this for a while and don't mess with it for a long time, until one of these days we'll change RG213 in 10 years when we get a whole entire new cable, and maybe we'll rebuild another pole for it, maybe something like that. I would have went for 60 foot in the air. That would have been awesome, but at least she's all right. It's not going to blow because we got all these trees protection. It's going to protect from the wind, and it's usually not protected from the backside, but it's protected all here all the time. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a great evening. We'll bring up more videos soon. Some video, but the rate of this is doing okay, but it's hot as hell in here right now. I'm at 91 degrees. This This is the part that what ripped it out. You guys saw in the video earlier today. This is the one that ripped out of the wall. The one that connects it right into that wooden wall. That pulled right out. Right about here. You guys see right here. That's the only cable it's got with the leftover beam except the RG13. That's the one with the serial. You see there? That's why I want to replace it with RG213. It doesn't matter if it's on the ground either way. But I don't have nothing to drill that. But that's the RG58. That's the only thing it used to connect that. The other one is the Mako 5000. That's the Mako 5000. It goes right all the way down here. When I get it in this radio, I usually just connect it right here. The Wi-Fi is still here. So I'm going to catch you guys later. So I had to show you what it did to my coax here. Right here, that's the one I was telling you about. That was the one in the tree for almost several months. And there's the ferrites there I still have. That's the one that pulled out that thing with the tree. You pull that out, it was like 50 foot of this. It was only 50 foot long. And it connected to a barrel connector. I can't get on the beam right now, but it's going to work fine. The beam's going to work okay. But it needs a coax. And now I need some like RG58 or RG213. I want to run it with RG13. Another maybe 100 foot. It'd be like a total 150 feet of that wire. Because it's a 50 foot on that coax wire and on the beam. The RG213 is already on the beam. All I have to do is get the duct tape unravel and just remove the connector from the barrel connector to get the coax seal out of it, to open it up. And that's all I have to do. That one side, that's all I have to do. And just need some coax seal to go on top of it. I have some coax seal, still have some left over, but I wish I had a lot of coax seal. But plus I need 100 foot of RG213 so we can run it in the house and get it connected here. It'll be connected to that barrel connector. That's all I need. It'll be connected to that barrel connector right there. And these will be fine with RG213, but everything will be running RG58 with RG213. It'll be almost the same set like I had before, but I just need some RG213 to run 100 foot of it right to the one on the tree out there with the tree seen today. And once I run it above it or below it, we'll be able to do this. Stuff is a strong cable, but it should be able to get back on the air with the beam. And so I'll be thanking you guys if you do donate it for me either way. So at least the Mako is back on business. Nothing affected. The SWRs look great. It actually improved my SWR on the Mako 5000 when that tree got took down. It actually helped the SWR quite a bit. It probably should be able to help the one on the tuner. It should be able to drop it very low. Since for the RG213, if I had another one hook up to it right now, it'd be awesome. But the one on the Mako stays on until the day, and when I change out the RG213 on the beam antenna, that's the day I will get another pole set up later on when I do that. But not right now. But we need RG213 to go in this thing right now. Maybe someone can sit in a few days. I need a 100 foot RG213. It doesn't matter, 50 foot. If you send me 100 foot, I'll be so happy. Then I have a lot of room to play around with the 100 foot RG230. We could actually run around this whole entire the little thing around here. We could tuck it and we could put it back here. We can do that if you want. So I just need some right now. It's the Alpha Delta, the Alpha RG213 you see on Fleabay for $89. That's what I need to get, and it's got free shipping. And it's already got the connectors on it. And then it will connect it to the Alpha, the one outside. And I'll need some coax seal with it. And I already got the duct tape. I just have to take that off, put the RG13 on the barrel connector, the one's running on the beam already, and it'll connect it right into the house. And everything will be good. We'll be on the air. And we'll have to check the antenna tuner on the RG58. That is connected to that barrel connector right here to the top. That goes into the amplifier, into that. And we should be okay. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a great week this week. And this one's already connected to the tuner. The other one connects to the radio. So that's why we need some RG213, like 100 foot of it. If I have 100 foot of it with the connectors on it, I'll be ready to rock and roll. But right now, we're gonna do a lot of tree trimming for the next few days. So it's about 90 degrees. So we got the shade on the porch. We're looking okay. So that's the only thing, the worst thing it did too. That's the only thing with the tree did the worst thing to that, and that's it. I'm trying to keep the bugs out of that crap. And these things are quite good. I'll show you in a second. You guys can take a look. And you guys can take a look at that. So you guys know where that tree went. It landed right there. You guys see it right there. But look, I was not in this room when that day happened. You guys know that. You see, that's a Bradford tree. So I'll catch you guys later. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you later soon. We'll bring out more videos soon.